Hello and welcome back to the Witchy Woo podcast. Today, I am joined by two incredible humans. We have the beautiful minister, Hannah Strange, and the gorgeous fairy godmother, Jess Gelling. And they are both joining me from the Strange Apothecary, and they're both bringing their magic into the world. So before we get started with today's episode, I would love to ask you ladies to just introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Hannah Strange, Minister Hannah Strange, and I am the founder of the Strange Apothecary, the Ministry of Pharmakeia. We are a 16 times award-winning brand, and I work within that brand with my amazing friend, Jess.
Hello everyone, I'm Jess and I am your business fairy godmother. I'm everyone's business fairy godmother and I work my magic and I'm like the glue that holds things together. So it's wonderful to be here. Thank you, Kylie.
Oh, thank you guys for joining me. I love that you are here because you're not that there are just guests, but you are also our wonderful headline sponsors for this season as well. So we are so grateful for your support, and I'm excited that the Witchy Woo family get to know you even better. Hear your energy. And so today we're going to be talking all about the witch wound, of course. And I had a brief conversation with Hannah and Jess before we pressed record. And we were speaking about how both of them have never really felt that they resonated with the witch wound, but were both really interested in perhaps diving into it a little bit more and seeing where it does show up. And I often find with the witch wound, when we think about it, we think about the witch trials because that's obviously where it has stemmed from. And if you don't know that you have a past life and you were accused of a witch, then naturally you're not really going to feel that you associate with that terminology at all, because why would you? You have no conscious memory of it. But when there's so many people that added to that collective energy of the witch wound, so many people that were being persecuted, especially women, obviously there were men as well, but especially women, all of that energy gets added into the collective. And so anyone who incarnates after that will feel the effects of that. And not only through their soul, through the imprints that have been left within their Akashic records, within their soul history, but also ancestrally. It's going to be passed down from mother to daughter. You're going to be taught to stay quiet. Don't let yourself stand out. If you just be the good girl, then you're going to be able to get where you want to get in life, and no one's going to hurt you because you're doing exactly what they want. And I think it shows up so differently today that we don't often recognize it as the witch wound within ourselves. We just think it's, how we are as a person. We just lack confidence, or, we don't like being visible. We don't like showing up. So I kind of want to reframe it a little bit and perhaps ask you if, if there was a time that you ever learned that it wasn't always safe to be you, a time where you felt that you had to hide the real version of you.
I mean, growing up, when you go to a mainstream school, it's drilled into you that you can't express yourself in the ways that you want to. You have to wear the uniform the way that the rules are set out and things like that. So back then in my teenage years was probably when I felt most suppressed. My mum was very like, be the good girl, be quiet, be what you need to be to get by in life. But I grew up with a father who would stick up for me, encourage me to dye my hair, encourage me to get the piercing, like encourage me to dress how I wanted to dress. And he would fight for me in the school setting as well, and be like, it doesn't affect her education. What's your problem? And he's a big man, so he's a scary man to to have those kind of conversations with. And he's not scared to stand his ground. So I think, from that aspect, I've been quite lucky because I've had that like drilled into me from a really young age to just be me and like do what I want to do, from one side of my parents, and then I've seen the complete opposite from the other side, and they're still very much like that today. You know, they're still kind of complete opposites of each other. My mum's still very much mainstream, follows societal norms and does everything that way, and my dad is really not. Really not at all.
What a fantastic influence to have, though.
Yeah, it was.
I love that. And Jess, have you ever felt that?
Oh, well, mine stems back to childhood as well. And this, if initially, it felt a bit like a loaded question, actually.
Sorry,
Because I don't.
getting in there.
No, it's absolutely fine. I'd like to say I'm fully open to this. It's time to share some of my story, right? So my childhood was a little bit different from Hannah, and my mum is the one that would have allowed me to express and be me. And I moved away from that, and I lived with my dad, and I was very, very, very much suppressed. You know, like Hannah was saying, you can't express yourself. You've got to conform, wear the uniform, follow the rules. I wasn't even allowed to wear makeup. Like, clear mascara was your maximum, you know, because my dad always used to be like, boys only want one thing. And it's like, it's not even about that. He completely lost the part of expressing yourself. When you have to wear a uniform, what kind of things can you do differently just to like stand out or be different from the crowd, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I feel like I didn't do myself any favors by not being with my mum during that time, because my mum was the one. It's the opposite to Hannah, really. So it wasn't my dad that was allowing me to like be free. It would have been my mum that would have done that. So yeah, from the teenager, the early teenage years, that would probably be where it started being suppressed more, I'd say.
And you can totally understand it, can't you? And I think it's so sad you've touched upon something else as well. I think as women, and like obviously I'm sure that it come from a place of he loves you and he didn't want anything to happen to you. Like that's where it comes from. But you know, the fact that as women we are told we shouldn't look a certain way, we can't look a certain way, because just in case a boy thinks that he can do something inappropriate, like it's our fault. Like, if a boy can't control
like
himself.
at 12 and 13, you shouldn't even really be aware of that.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't what I was putting makeup on for. I wasn't wanting to wear makeup but for boys to like me. I wanted to wear makeup because all my friends were wearing makeup. They were expressing themselves through that, and I couldn't do that. So yeah, you know, it shows the time that he grew up in and what he went through. And my dad's no longer with us, so it's a hard one to really. I don't know why he was like that. Won't get to know those questions just yet. Know the answer to those questions just yet, but that's okay.
Well, first off, I'm sorry to hear about your dad.
That's okay. That's okay. He's been gone a very long time now. He passed away actually when I was 16. So that could have, you know, contributed to everything that I've held to where I am now. So it's a healing journey that I'm on, and I'm exploring. I'm open to it.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And if we don't resonate with the witch wound, I think a lot of us will resonate with the patriarchy. And to me, it's a very similar thing. The patriarchy was what allowed the witch wound to become a huge part in our society, because it was always the women. Because boys wouldn't have been told, oh no, don't style your hair like that, just in case a girl likes the way you look. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's just that double standard, isn't it? And that's not me criticizing your dad in any way. It's the thinking behind everything, isn't it?
Absolutely, because you don't know what he was conditioned and how his parents was conditioned, and so on.
Exactly.
Goes back, like you say, it keeps going back, doesn't it?
That's it. And he was keeping his little girl safe, so he was doing his job. And so the opposite kind of question now, looking back at your life, when do you feel the most powerful?
Now.
I love that. Did both of you say now at once?
Yeah.
Now, honestly, now, like I first started on my like spiritual journey just before I had my daughter in 2017. So I'd already had my son, so I was one child in, but I got pregnant with my second really quickly. He was only like 3 months old when we found out. And then I had my daughter, and something within me like just woke up. And I remember when she was a baby, like she never slept on the full moon, and like I could tell like how like in tune with things that she was already, and it really opened up that path for me. But like as a child, I always loved witchy things and like watching all like the Halloween movies, and like I loved fairies as well, you know, like all our branding's like fairies now, and I loved everything like mythical, but like that kind of got suppressed over the years because of just the societal opinions around those things.
Too
And
whimsical.
yeah,
We
exactly.
need to be grown-ups.
Now my life is just full whimsy. Like if it's not whimsy, I don't want it.
Literally.
So after having my daughter, like I started to like wake up to that side more, and I'd like publicly share that like I was exploring that and stepping into that role. And like I was surprised at how greatly supported that was then. She's 9 this year, so almost a decade ago, like I started on the journey officially as an adult. And I couldn't imagine my life without it now. You know, like it's so deeply ingrained into everything that I do, like just my daily life. I honestly couldn't imagine not having that part of me awake now.
Yeah. Oh, I love
It'd be sad,
that.
wouldn't it? It'd be sad that if you weren't awake to that.
It really
because
would.
it'd mean you'd have to discover it later. Yeah.
And not get as long doing it and being a fairy.
I know.
Exactly.
Who doesn't want to be a fairy?
So basically for Hannah, power is whimsical, which I love. I absolutely love. And I love as well that your daughter was the one that opened you up. I think our children teach us so much, don't they?
Yeah, they really do. You know, Dexter is a very unique little soul himself. He's got a like genetic condition that only like 150 people in the world have, and like he's taught us a lot of lessons as he's grown up. He'll be 10 soon, so we've learned so much from both of our children. And like Jess is their honorary auntie, and you know she's learned so much from them as well, from just being involved with the family in general. But just the way that they view the world, you know, there's it's not just like black and white to them like it can be for adults. You know, there's lots of grey, there's lots of questions, there's lots of wonder, and to just look at the world from their perspective sometimes is such an eye-opening place to be.
Yeah,
refreshing as well, I think.
Yeah,
to see the world through the eyes of a child, very refreshing.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree more. And the beauty of it as well is now that you have done the work on yourself, you're now allowing them to be truly them. You're not on the side where you are suppressing anything within them.
Yeah, exactly. Like obviously our work is like deeply rooted in health and wellness, you know, like deeply. And everyone on my mum's side of the family work in some form of health and wellness, but it's very mainstream. You know, they wouldn't go down the herbal or the holistic route like I have. And to now look at my daughter and know that she's going to grow up in a household that fully believes in the power of plants, that play with tarot cards just for the sake of playing with tarot cards, you know, and have crystals around the house because like they're powerful and pretty. You know, I didn't get to grow up with that. So I'm really interested to see how she ends up being when she's my age and she's had that within her childhood. Like she's already got her own deck of tarot cards. She it's like a color in your own deck thing, and like she's obsessed with coloring. So she's been physically making her own deck, and she stole my tarot card book, you know, like the generic book that's got like the meanings and stuff in it. I was like, I don't use it anymore. I did years ago when I first started playing with tarot, but I don't use it now. So she's like, can I have this? And I'm like, yeah. Take it. She's always just randomly appearing with it and being like, did you know?
Yeah,
I think it sounds like we need to get her on the podcast as well.
Honestly,
it sounds like she would be.
she'll be coming to the moon rituals in no time, doing reading for us.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And Jess, you obviously answered now as well to when you feel most powerful. Is there anything in particular that kind of makes you feel that way?
I started my healing journey. I've always been interested in, like, you know, quote witchcraft things, and I've always deeply respected the work that Hannah does. But I was, because of all the trauma that I went through, I was just so closed off to even, you know, the healing aspect of me was like, it's going to be too hard. I don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then was it 2020? Was it last year? It was last year, wasn't it?
because
Was it only last year?
we had been to Peak Fest. We've been to was it the first day of Peak Fest? And we were sat in the garden in the house, and we were all just like chatting, you know, we were all like on our own little like healing journey. We had like a few of our mates there as well, and Jess was just like, no, I'm not doing it, it's too hard, fuck you all, basically. Like that was it, that was the end of it. And we were like, okay, that's fine, you know.
Yeah, I can't even remember what even triggered me to react like that.
Yeah.
But that reaction said so much to me, because, oh, I got a bit of an echo then, because that was me going, hang on a minute, I'm with the safest group of people that I could be with. Why did I react like that?
Yeah.
Why is healing such a hard no for me? So I sat with it a bit. We carried on with Peak Fest. It was a bit of an emotional time, but it was great, because I was in a room with all these people, and I'd always signed myself off. I'm too old to start something new. I've tried before, it's not successful, yada, yada. And just to be in this room with so many people of all different ages, of all different races, of all, you know, all different genders, it was just to be like, why am I holding myself back and signing myself off?
Yeah.
Like, I've got some work to do, you know? And then we came home, and 2 days later, I was like, Hannah, I'm ready.
Yay!
And it's honestly been the most powerful experience. And that's why I say I feel powerful now, because it's understanding things, validating my experiences and feelings and understanding. And it's just, that's helped me have understanding for my mum, understanding for my dad, my brother, my sister. It's so worth it to do that healing journey. Like, I wish I'd done it. I wish I'd started 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But we learn and we do it when we think it's right. And last year, obviously, evidently, was the perfect time. But like I say, I've always been interested in the witchy stuff, and I'm pretty sure, like, my side of the family, like my mum's side, has clairvoyance, you know, like, cause my granddad and his mum, and then my mum kind of lost it over the years because her life changed, but she was always doing holistic treatments as a kid. Like, if I had earache, it'd be a holistic treatment or something like that, or colds and coughs, and it'd be balms on the chest and essential oils. It was my mum that got me onto essential oils. So I'm really sad that I left and went to live with my dad, but I can't change it. So
No.
it's just about, like, moving forward and having gratitude for everything that I've been through that's led me here. So that's why I feel powerful now.
Oh, and that sounds so powerful as well. Like, I got goosebumps as you were speaking then. That sounds really powerful. And I think it takes a lot for us to look at ourselves and be like, why the hell did I just do that? Like, to actually see it as an us. Like, why was I triggered in that way? Rather than the easy option of kind of projecting it onto, well, who has made me feel
They
like
upset
this?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why did you upset me? Instead I was like, why was I upset by that?
Yeah.
Because it was a non-issue, and that's what really made me go, oh, you overreacted a bit there, didn't you? But
I love
yeah, it set me on the right path, so it needed to happen, apparently.
Absolutely. And I can just imagine what Hannah's reaction would have been like when you went to her and been like, I'm ready.
Honestly, when she was like, no, I'm not doing it, I was actually a little bit concerned, because I know, like, I was on this journey, and I move fast when I'm on doing things, you know. Like, just this past week, I said to Jess, I was like, I've quantum leaped this week. Like, it's been insane. Like,
yeah, that's true.
But when I'm moving through things, I go really fast, and that's just the way my life is, you know. It's really fast paced all of the time. And when she was like, no, I'm not doing it, I was actually really scared that I was going to lose her, because I was going to be, like, on this up trajectory, and she was going to be on this flat line, you know, not keeping up with it. And they say that people come into your lives for different stages, don't they? And I'm like, I don't want Jess to be in my life for a stage, you know. I want her to be in my life in my life.
Forever.
You know, like that's it.
Yeah.
So when she then 2 days later was like, I'm ready now, and I was like, oh my fucking God, thank you. Like, thank you. Literally, hallelujah. I was like, oh my God. And I actually messaged our friend because Jess had gone home with them, because obviously we live in different directions. So Jess had got a lift back with them. And I messaged her and I was like, did you say something? Like, did you have a conversation like in the car on the way back or something? She was like, no, not really. You know, like I didn't really say anything, because I just thought that was got to be what's happened for her to suddenly be like, I'm ready now. You know, I'm ready to go on this journey properly now. But yeah,
Just a butt ton of self-reflection.
yeah.
I also had a QHEH session, like a little freebie taster for somebody that was from somebody that was in our group, and that was wild. And I was just like, oh, okay. And that was kind of it. That was set me off, and I was away. And it's been wild ever since. Fast pace, ups, downs, emotions. Like, what? Not even 2 weeks ago, my nan passed away. I've not even really talked about it properly. And it's just one of them things. I didn't even mean to bring it up. But yeah, life just goes, man. And you just got to keep going with it, right?
Absolutely. I'm sorry about your nan.
It's okay, thank you.
That's raw.
She did make it to her 90th birthday.
I was going to say it
bless her.
wasn't like heartbreakingly tragic. Obviously, it's very, very sad.
Yeah.
But on the 8th of May, we got to celebrate 90 years. And she was there for that. She was fully with us. She was spoiled rotten, even though she protested not to be. Don't make a fuss, is what she was saying. Oh, you could guarantee we made a fuss. But yeah, she was poorly. She was poorly for a long time. And if anything, we were having healing circles and things, and gratitude, acceptance, and something else came through. And I was just like, it's just time. And it was, for me, I was surprised at how I'd handled it, because obviously the last major grief I had was my dad passing away.
Yeah.
Whereas this time I was very calm, very level-headed. You know, I was there for my mum and my sister, and it was just, is it weird to say that it's been a nice experience?
No, I don't.
I don't know if that sounds strange. Yeah, that's what obviously it's not nice that she's not here, but it wasn't all hectic.
No,
it was very peaceful.
She was ready, you know, like that's what she wanted.
She was,
you know, so
she
it was
really
nice
did
to watch her hold on.
Yeah.
And it sounds like she was surrounded by loads of people that loved her as well. I mean, what better way to
every day she had visitors, and me and my sister and my mum were literally there with her at the time. So it's honestly, if she could have wrote it down on a piece of paper what she wanted, that's what she would have wanted. So we're just glad that we could be there for her. Very glad.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you for letting me share it. It's totally not on topic of what we're talking about. But
there is no topic. Well, I said that there's no topic, but we are speaking about whatever comes up. I truly believe that anything that comes through, that comes up, is absolutely 100% meant to be spoken about. So yes, anything that pops into your head. Well, maybe not anything. there could be there could be some things we may not quite want to go there, but
I mean, you know how my brain works, Kylie. Are you sure you want to open that door?
Hannah's brain suddenly thinking of all the most inappropriate things that she can.
Intrusive thoughts.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. So we kind of covered a little bit with the business, because obviously you were at Peak Fest with your business, and that was the thing that made you, Jess, obviously have that trigger and then have this huge realization which helped you on your healing path. But for me, the people that I work with, the witch wound shows up the most in business because of the whole being visible, putting yourself out there in business without that fear of being judged, you know, like the putting a post out and then taking it down 5 minutes later because actually you don't know if it's the right thing to say, or, you know, overthinking responses and all that sort of thing. It comes up, and it's all through this fear of standing out or standing in your power. You know, like, I don't know if you ever find it where if you're in a circle, whether it's in person or it's on Zoom, and there are some people who sit there and they are really scared to share, even though they've got something that's really valuable, or you know, it's just a beautiful time for them to share. They don't want to take up that space because
I
they
have
feel
it
that they're
happen.
less important.
I have it happen all the time with my clients. So I host a lot of circles myself online. I don't do in-person ones, but I go to one in person, but I don't host in person. I only do online. And I get a lot of people being like, I just didn't want to say anything because, you know, I don't want to put that on everyone else. And I don't want to, you know, make everyone else feel like shit. I don't want to, you know, have them like they've got their own stuff to deal with. I'm not as important. And, you know, it's heartbreaking for me to see that. But I try and support them through it, and I try and, you know, make them feel as valued as every other person within that space, because they are, you know, they are as just as valuable as anyone else. And I hope that I do that justice, you know, and I hope that they really do feel that way when it does happen. For me personally, like, visibility is not a problem. I have always said what I wanted to say when I wanted to say it and given no fucks. That's just how
I love that. I love that unapologetic, Hannah.
that is just me. And how like I said about my dad earlier, you know, that's what he's ingrained into me over the years. And I lived with my dad rather than my mum for my teenage years as well after they split. So, you know, like, he's been my main influence through my life. And just to give you context, like, he's a heavy metal biker. So yeah, that's the environment that I grew up in. But Jess, on the other hand, Jess has been that person herself in our spaces, being like, I don't want to put it on everyone else. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't want to put it on everyone else? Like, this is your space as much as it is everyone else's. Like, get your butt in there right now and, like, let the community hold you, because there's such power in community and circle and holding each other. I mean, the circle that I go to in person, it's just hosted by one of your resident authors, Kate Crabb. She always mentions every time that we're there how, like, there's tribes across the world now that still operate in the way of, like, gathering together before they go to bed at night and just talking about their day, you know, talking things through and getting everything out in the open. And there's zero depression, there's no anxiety, there's no major mental health problems, you know, and everyone just lives in peace and harmony. Whereas we don't have that here, like, in this Western society. That's not something that we do. So having those communities and those safe spaces where we can go and lean on those people is so incredibly important. But the battle is, like you say, getting people to come into those spaces when they need it, you know, and not hide
Feel
away.
worthy. Feel worthy of a space there, because that's also another thing. Like, I was part of the community as part of the ones leading it, so I was like, I can't go in there and be like, I've got problems. Because
the other thing.
they've all got their problems and they don't want to listen to my problems, whereas that's the exact opposite of what you're actually meant to do. We're not meant to be like solo creatures. We're meant to be part of, like, a community hub. We're meant to be surrounded by love and other human beings. So, and it wasn't long ago, was it, that I was like, no, I can't use the space, can't go in there. And I'd just go to Hannah and, like, say my things to Hannah, and she's like, get in the community. I'm like, nah, I can't go in there. And she was like, absolutely you can. And then everyone, I was just so shocked by how receptive everyone was of it, and being like, whoa, Jess goes through this too. It's like I became human being to them.
And they probably now feel like they can relate so much better to you.
Something that I've been missing doing. And because I've always just held back. I have always just held back, and I'm like, oh God, I've got to stop holding back.
I actually dropped her in it a little bit because she was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So I did it for her. And I popped a message in the chat. And I was like, hey guys, Jess is having a hard time, but she's being a knob. So can you help me?
Legit,
I love that.
And I know, but the thing is, like, I know that that's not Hannah being like, go on, tell everyone. It's like, come on, Jess. It's
Yeah.
just Hannah giving that gentle nudge, being like, because whereas if Hannah hadn't done that, I probably still wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
Whereas then that opened the floodgates for so much more. So it's like it wasn't done in a negative way from Hannah. It was done as like a boot up the arse.
No, and I wouldn't
on.
do that to just anyone either. You know?
Yeah, no.
But
It won't be to
I
everyone.
can do it to Jess with love.
I'm special.
And you could see what was needed, because I'm sure, Jess, you probably came away feeling so much better.
Absolutely.
After speaking in there.
So much better. So much better.
And I think as well, it kind of crosses over with that like toxic side of empathy. When you are an empathic person and you do take on a lot from other people, and you know just how precious energy is because you feel so affected by other people, it makes you think about what you're willing to share, because you don't want to put your shit onto someone else. So I do think it kind of, when we are opening up and when we do realize how much we take on from other people, sometimes it can have that negative effect when we open up spiritually, because we do start noticing how much energy affects us, and we do start thinking, like, being more mindful about where we place our energy. But it's so needed, isn't it? And also, like, obviously we're speaking about the witch wound, but the sister wound ties in so closely with the witch wound, and obviously coming together as women is so important. Like in days gone by, like you kind of touched on it, Hannah, with different tribes around the world, but often it's the women that would be at home and they would be raising the children. They'd all gather together within the village and they'd share their stories and they'd make each other feel better.
You know, and that's where the saying "it takes a village to raise the children" comes from, right? And like, you don't get that anymore either, you know, like, because grandparents are working or they're like busy doing things that they want to do because they've had their kids and they've grown up and they're living their life now, you know. Or like, if you need a babysitter, you've got to book like 8 weeks in advance.
Do you know what else? You don't have anymore? And I remember when my sister had her first house, it was like a row of terraces, and everyone's back garden wall was really low.
Yeah.
Like shoulder height, you know, or just up to like your chest, so you could look at the other person over your garden wall. Whereas now you want 6, 7, 8 foot fences. Yeah. You don't want to speak to your neighbour. Whereas like back in the day, that's how women thrived and survived, was speaking to all the other women who were having babies, looking after the home. And it's like, how did we lose that?
Yeah, so we went from most women kind of being at home, and I'm not saying just looking after children, because it's like the hardest thing in the world to do, but now we've gone from that and doing it with a community to having to do everything on your own and work and look after the children and have to hold it all together and not have a space where you can offload. Crazy. Craziness.
It's crazy how the times have changed, you know, just in the last 70 years of how the family dynamics are completely different now. You can't do just one parent leave a house for work anymore. Like you can't do that. Like jobs don't pay enough to pay the bills. So like mums have been forced out of the family home and to go to work. And that's why I love what we do, because obviously me and Dean work in the business together, so we get to spend all of our time together. And then we actually home educate with our daughter, and then our son goes to a special needs school. So we've got a completely different like family dynamic to most other households, and it just fills my heart with so much joy that like we don't have to be separated from each other for most of the day like other families do. Like we get to choose what we do when we do it, and we get to do it with each other all the time. Obviously my son goes out of the house, but like if I said to him, "You're not going to school anymore because I want you at home," he would be so mad. Like he'd
think he was being punished.
Yeah, he really would.
He loves school.
Oh, bless him. And that's another beautiful way that you're showing, because you know the whole, like in the past, in days gone by, children should be seen and not heard, but you're listening to what your children want and need, and that's being honoured. Like your daughter obviously being better with homeschooled and your son loving school.
Yeah, and I mean, we tried school with her. She did a year and half a term, and no,
Yeah.
like she was a little ball of anxiety. She wouldn't speak to anyone, and she was just a mess, like just a mess constantly while she was at school. And they did say like, "Oh, we think she's neurodivergent." I was like, "Probably, both her parents are. You know,
Yeah.
it's genetic, so like more than likely." And yeah, then we pulled her out, and now she doesn't shut up. Like she'll talk to anyone and everyone, and sometimes I'm like, "Just go back to school, please." Like,
It is that environment as well, though, sometimes, isn't it? Like my daughter was exactly the same, and we homeschooled practically the whole of her secondary school because, again, anxiety. She just couldn't really cope well with being at school. Now she's at college, she's absolutely thriving. So I think it is how adaptive those environments are as well.
yeah, I mean, we
And they're
always
not. School environments are very unadaptive, I feel like. And
Yeah.
I don't even have any children. And I just see what goes on through like other people who have got children. It's just crazy out there.
Yeah.
yeah, I
School
mean,
system needs a revamp. That's
we
all I'll say.
always
Definitely.
give her the choice. You know, we always say like, "Do you want to go back to school? Do you want to stay at home?" Like the offer's always there for her. She knows that she's fully in control of that decision and what she wants to do. And it's the same with our son too. You know, he knows that we could homeschool him if that's what he wanted, but that's not what he wants. And he wants to go to school, and he wants to eat all the jam on toast that they give him in the mornings. And, you know, like he has the best time, you know, the
Yeah.
best time. So, yeah, it's just providing them with their different needs and what, like you say, like they're heard, they're listened to with what they want, not rather than just they're just kids, they can get on with it, you know, like yeah, they might be kids, but they're still humans, you know, they're just little versions of us.
Yeah. Who, as we said at the start, can teach us so much.
Really can. Yeah.
With their little beautiful fresh perspectives. So we have come to the point in the podcast, I think we should do the which are you quick quiz. So they're quite simple questions, don't worry. They're not the really deep ones like I started off throwing at you. And let's see what type of witch you are for the listeners. So question 1 is, you're given a day completely to yourself. Do you A, read 10 books and research random things? B, wander in nature? C, journal and pull cards? Or D, burn everything down and start over?
I would wander in nature.
Love it.
I would want to wander in nature, but I know I'd go for the books and the research. I don't know what I would.
Perfect. So next question. Your biggest superpower is wisdom, healing, intuition, or courage?
Oh, that's such a hard one.
It is, isn't it? Because you ladies have all of them, obviously, but we've
I'm
got to narrow
really
it down.
torn between wisdom and courage.
Okay.
Because before this conversation, I probably would have said wisdom. But after having this conversation, I think it's possibly courage, because I forget how open and willing I am compared to other people, because it's just my norm, right? Like I forget other people aren't like that. So I think it is probably courage.
Yeah, that is definitely a superpower that you can be. I think being yourself is the biggest superpower you can be. And I would say you embody that beautifully.
Thanks.
Jess, what do you reckon, my love?
I'd say wisdom for me, I think.
I would say wisdom for you as well, yeah.
Perfect. So people come to you for advice, comfort, insight, or motivation.
Oh, could it be a mix?
Go on.
Can we do multi-choice? I'd say comfort and motivation.
Comfort and motivation. Perfect.
Yeah, I think insight and advice for me, because like I find them quite similar things, you know, in general, the insight and advice. Because yeah, a lot of time people are like, "I just want your opinion on this," and like that's the insight side, and then they'll always follow up with like, "Well, what would you do then?"
I love that. So, do you want your results?
Yes,
do you
please.
want to know them? So, both of you are actually the same. You've both come out at wise sage. I was expecting to have two different results there, but yeah,
So did I.
both of you have got mostly A's. So there you go.
Interesting.
So would you
Interesting.
resonate with the wise sage? Can you feel that wise sage energy?
Yeah,
Eventually.
When you get to your crone phase.
Yeah. I think that's when it'd come out more.
I think I definitely resonate with it. I think I'm already in my crone era, to be honest. Just really early.
Well, the crone is all about not giving a fuck about what anyone else thinks.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah,
absolutely. I love that.
And can you see why me and Hannah are such a great team?
Absolutely.
Because of how it's just so good. I just could never have asked for a person like Hannah. If I'd have asked in my wildest dreams, I couldn't have nailed it better. I've got the best business partner I could have asked for, because it's not just business, it's life.
Yeah.
And you need that in something. So I'm very lucky. I'm very, very lucky. I know I am.
me too. I'm lucky.
Oh, ladies, this is so beautiful. You're making me really jealous that
Bonding.
I don't have a business bestie.
You're our
You're our business bestie.
Oh,
Trio
no, but
now. We are the mother, the maid, and the crone.
We'll just fight it out for which one.
I'll be the maiden, since I've got no kids. Hannah can be the crone and you can be the mother. That seems all right, doesn't it?
I love it. All aspects of self. But no, I completely agree. I love the dynamic between you two. It's just so beautiful and perfect. And it's like I always think of it like, you know, the moon phases, and obviously like how I'm probably not going to make any sense here, but how obviously if you were to put all the moon phases together, they would slot in to make a full moon, if you know what I mean. I kind of think of you two like that, like the two halves of the moon, where you can slot together kind of perfectly, and you both bring out the best bits in each other. And what's really beautiful as well, going along the lines of the witch wound, is often we can, you know, I will blame the patriarchy for kind of pitting women against each other a lot of the time, whereas you two, you can feel that real genuine bond and want for love and healing and success. You genuinely want that for each other, and it's gorgeous.
Honestly,
And for other people too.
Yeah, we want it for each other. We want it for everyone that we cross paths with. You know, like we want it for every woman in the world. You know, it's not something that we restrict to ourselves. We believe that there's room for everyone to have space. And, you know, if we can give you a leg up somewhere, then we absolutely will, if we can, you know.
Absolutely.
We've got a few contacts floating around.
Oh, I love this.
Few contacts, few opportunities. All you've got to do is reach out.
So let's end with, tell us a little bit more about the Strange Apothecary. I knew I wouldn't be able to say that properly.
No one ever can, right? No one ever can. But like, we called it the Strange Apothecary because obviously I'm Hannah Strange, and that's my last name. I did steal it from my partner, bless him. But he was born with that name, like it was his given name. It's not. Everyone always thinks it's a stage name that we've just like adopted because of the business.
It sounds like it, doesn't it? It's so perfect.
It does. It does. But no, my children's like birth certificates say Strange on, you know, and then I was just like, I want to be a Strange. Everyone else in my house is a Strange. I want to be a Strange. So I did change it by default because we're not married, but that's a whole different story. But like, we spend the £500 or spend the 20 instead. But yeah, the Strange Apothecary is apothecary because obviously the old word for medicine is apothecary, and that's when it would have all been herbal based medicine, the holistic approach, before it became pharmaceuticals as we know it today. So that's why it was the Strange Apothecary. And recently it's had a little bit of an upgrade as well, and I was actually reading a book called Entering Hecate's Garden, which I'm sure many people listening to this podcast will appreciate, with her being the goddess of witches. And I've always felt a really strong pull to Hecate throughout my whole life. Like I had a dog called Apollo, and like she shows up through dogs, and Apollo is her son, and you know, it's when I look back at my life, it's also interconnected. And I was reading this book and I saw this word, Pharmakeia, and I was like, I've never seen this word before. Like, what does it mean? And it is the ancient and sacred art of plant medicine,
Herbs
ritual
and rituals.
magic. And I'm like, that's literally what we do, like at the Strange Apothecary. And for many, many years, I've really struggled to put everything we do into context. You know, it's always been like a big long list of all the different modalities that are included, and you can see people's eyes just glaze over, like when you're trying to have that conversation with them, because they're like, yeah, she's just listed 7 different things to me, like I don't understand any of them. Whereas Pharmakeia, it's just like, oh, what's that? Like it like piques your ear. So and I'm also an ordained minister as well. So the Strange Apothecary has become the Ministry of Pharmakeia. And that has literally been within the last few days that we've kind of made that little bit of a pivot, that little bit of a refinement in what it is that we do. But we actually started as a CBD business. And then expanded from there. So we actually started as Hannabis because it was Hannah, CBD, cannabis, like just to play on words. And then as we started to expand out of the CBD industry into other things, we were like, we need another name because Hannabis is great. Hannabis brand is still very much alive. It's just now like the CBD side of the Strange Apothecary, like a sub brand. And we launched mushrooms under the Strange Apothecary, but still under Hannabis. And then I decided to make the switch of making the Strange Apothecary the main umbrella of everything and making Hannabis the sub thing. But we're a 7-year-old company this month. Our anniversary is on the 14th of June.
And it's your birthday.
Yeah. And it will be my birthday as well, yeah, because I like to do things on my birthday for some reason, and I always end up working on my birthday too because of
It's
it.
just like, oh shit, I don't know why I'm going to do that.
It's on through. So yeah, it'll be our 7th anniversary this year, which is wild. You know, like we're a 7-year-old business now. Right now, we are a 16 times award-winning business too. By the end of the month, we will be an 18 times award-winning business because
that's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I just had an email today, actually. I've not told anyone this publicly yet, but I just had an email today inviting me to the local business awards. And they only invite you if you've won. And I know that we've won Green Business of the Year and Customer Service Excellence of the Year as well.
Oh, well done, ladies. That is amazing.
Yeah, it's so good, isn't it? It's so good. But obviously, I launched the business, I founded it, and we've got an affiliate system as well within the business, which is a beautiful, beautiful system. They're amazing people that are in it, and it's a real nice community to be a part of. But
That's how I came along.
It is, because I needed some help with it. I needed some help. I needed someone to come in and like help me run that side of it and like keep the affiliates like on track and support them where they needed to be supported, because I'm one person and I can't make the product, sell the product, run all the admin side of the business, host the product side, and also, you know, do the affiliates as well. So I was like, right, I can outsource the affiliates, like I can do that. But I was like, it's still something that's really special to me and like sacred to me. Like that's like, because we've had affiliates from the beginning, so it wasn't something I just wanted to hand over to anyone. So I just was an affiliate, and I put out the position, and she wasn't going to apply for it, and I made her apply for it because I was like, Jess, I need you to apply for this position because I think you're going to be it, and like if you don't apply for it, we'll never know, right? I couldn't just give it to her because then that would have been deemed as like favoritism, and you know I had to go and like
she made me earn it.
I had to make lots of people try and earn it, and she flew through it, absolutely flew through it, and we whittled it down to 2 people, and Jess come out on top. And like this decision wasn't just made by me either. There was other people involved in the decision making, and it was a unanimous decision that Jess was the person for the role.
Oh, wow.
And that was 6 years ago.
6.5. Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
Just over 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Almost 6.5 years ago.
So
I've been there almost from the beginning.
almost. Very, very long time.
I'd been stalking Hannah online since before she'd launched Hannabis. So I was like, I need to know this girl. She, what she was posting about was piquing my interest. I was also in the CBD industry, and I was just like, who is she? I like her. But at the same time, I was also like, ooh, she's a bit intimidating. But that's because of not in a scary way, but because she was so good at what she was doing.
Yeah.
And instead of being like, oh, I'm going to copy this girl, I was like, I'm just going to make her be my friend. I'm going to make her notice me. And that's pretty much, it's all history from there, right?
Yeah. Oh. And I did notice you.
Yep.
It worked. Oh, I love that. And it sounds as though like you've obviously shared two stories. It's almost like Hannah is like you're the fairy godmother, but it's like Hannah is your fairy godmother. It's like, come on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, I love it. And before we go quickly, imagine we are sat round in a circle together. We have a beautiful fire roaring in the middle. What are we leaving in the fire tonight? And what are we taking with us? What are we ready to leave behind?
Fear of visibility for me.
Oh, what a potent one. I love that. That's beautiful.
Ancestral ties that aren't like worthy for me, because you get some ancestral stuff that like you want to keep and like that's part of you, but then there's some really like rubbish bits of it, isn't there, that like you don't want.
Baggage.
Yeah, like leave your baggage at the door.
Ancestral baggage be gone.
Yeah. And so mote it be. God. Yeah. I love it. I would say as well, from everything that you've said, any karma, any ancestral energy that has built up, you have well and truly cut ties with, because the way that you are raising your children, the way that you were raised, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And what energy are we taking forward? What power energy are we taking forward into our week?
Iconicness.
Yes.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. She's an icon, baby. Anyway, when Hannah said courage before, I'm gonna take just if I could have just a tiny bit of Hannah's courage, that'd be amazing. So I'm gonna walk away with courage tonight.
I reckon Hannah's gonna give you a big load of courage.
You can have a whole suitcase full. You can take
That's the good kind of baggage that we want, right?
Yes,
of courage.
Oh, I have so loved chatting with you, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, and please, please, please make sure to go and connect with both Hannah and Jess. You've heard today how truly amazing they both are and the beauty that they're bringing to the world as well. I know you're going to love them if you haven't connected with them already. And you can reach out to them. All their links and everything will be down below. And I cannot wait to see you next time. Bye.
Bye.